Hey guys, it's Becca XOX back with you here today. So today I'm going to be showing you how to do my everyday makeup look. It's a very natural looking look and I use very neutral tones in it, nothing too dramatic because it's for everyday wear. So, but if you want, comment below if you do. I can show you like some nighttime looks, or I can do some different eye looks. But yeah, so let's go. Okay, so I've applied my facial cream and my primer, and that's the first two things you do. Okay, so the first thing you do is you go in with your moisturiser. Mine's just a Nivea moisturiser. And you rub that in. Then you put on your primer. I don't usually use this primer. I usually use Maybelline or Benefit Poreless primer, but we're in quarantine and limited resources, so I just used one that I don't usually use. But yeah, put on your primer. Any primer's fine. Okay. And then you go in with your strobing cream. I haven't done that yet, so I'll do that now. I mean, I like to strobe everywhere, but some people just like to do it in certain areas, but I'll just show you how I do it. So you can also use, if you don't have strobing cream, you can just use liquid highlighter. Then I get a brush like this, and I just do this, like rub it all in. I do it over my eyes as well, and it just gives you like a radiant glow. Then that's done, so you've strobed. And then you go in with concealer. Oh, but one step that I've missed is you need to before you do any of that, I should have really done this at the beginning. The first step is put on a headband so that your hair's out of the way, and it's not on your face and it won't get stuck to your makeup. So I've strobed. So now you go in with your foundation. Your foundation can be whatever, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to use this today. This is Mua Pro Base Longwear Matte Finish Foundation. You can get this in Boots. Some Boots don't have it though.
So I just apply it like with the spatula thing that they've given you. So just put it on.
Another thing you can do actually is if you have any blemishes and stuff, there's a step before this that you can do, which varies. For me, I only do it if I have like really bad blemishes and I'm putting makeup on and stuff, but it varies. So it's colour correction stage, and you've got all these different colour correctors. You've got all these different colour correctors, like this is a green one. I don't know if you can see because the light's kind of in the way, but this is a green one. And these, I just use cheap ones of these because they're nothing special, like you're not going to see them. Whereas like your foundation, you spend a bit more money on.
But, so this is the yellow one.
Different purposes. So like The green covers up red blemishes and stuff, and the yellow is for under your eyes, and the purple, I'm not entirely sure what that's for, but yeah. Okay, so now that you've applied, like you've put on the foundation, you want to get your beauty blender, make sure you've wet it and dried it. You don't want it to be soaking wet. You wet it and then either get a towel and like squeeze it so that it's dry. It should feel like moist, it shouldn't feel soaking. I actually have 3 beauty blenders, but you don't need 3, you just need 1. You go in with your beauty blender and you dab. You don't like brush it or anything, because that will brush off foundation that you put on and then it's a waste of product.
Yeah, so you dab, and just keep sort of dabbing that in.
Sorry, I'm just looking in the mirror, that's why I'm not looking at the camera.
And yeah, you dab it all in and make sure that everywhere's done so that it's smooth application and it doesn't look strange or patchy or cakey.
Just, yeah. So like as you can see, the bottom bit's already starting to have smooth application. Go a little bit over your eyes. And then on your head as well. See, this is where the hairband really comes in use, because if my hairband wasn't on, all my hair would be here and foundation would be going all over my hair and then it would just be a mess. So this is really good. And if you don't have a hairband, you can also use a shower cap. It's my pretty little thing, shower cap. I love it. It's got unicorns on it. But anyways, yeah, you can always use a shower cap. Any shower cap will suffice. But yeah. Or you could improvise and maybe put your hair up in a high ponytail, but the thing that's good about a hairband is it pushes back all of that baby hair. Okay, so I am looking and I'm happy with how it's blended out. Now you just want to go in with some concealer under your eyes. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I like to use my Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat. And you click the applicator a couple of times to get the product up. And just, I put this under my eyes. I don't use this everywhere like a normal, like some concealers, because it's quite an expensive product. But yeah, I like to put it under my eyes and a little bit on my eyelids. Like that. Okay, so then this is again Mua Makeup Academy Pro Base Concealer. So it's like the concealer version of this product. Also for foundation, I really recommend Revolution. This is the colour shade that I use when I'm really tanned and I've like fake tanned. But I really recommend Revolution. It's like a cheaper version of MAC. Because I know not everyone wants to spend like all that money on a foundation like each month or however regularly you renew your foundation. So with this, I just put a bit on my chin, a bit under my eyes and a bit here, and then I blend that all in again with my beauty blender. Okay, so then blend in under your eyes with your beauty blender. Be very gentle because under the eyes is quite a sensitive area. Just blend under the eyes. And if you have a beauty blender like this, you want to use this end of it because it's like pointed. And go over the eyes again, be gentle. And up here on the head. Okay, so it's all blended in now. So now that you've concealed and you're happy with it, you go onto your eyebrows. So this is something I've recently started doing because I used to do it a little bit differently, but I've realised that this way works better. So I used to do it, I'd do my eyebrows after I'd done my powder and stuff, but then when you go to conceal it, it makes it a bit trickier because it will be applied with because you've already put powder on. So before I put my powder on, I do my eyebrows, and then you conceal your eyebrows and then put powder on, and it works better that way. So just brush them out with a spoolie. If you don't have one, you can use an eyebrow brush or yeah. Just brush them out. Okay, so I have this thing which I love from Sephora, and it's an eyebrow powder, and I really like it. But I know we don't have Sephora in the UK, so for those of you who are watching and you want to know a good eyebrow product, I definitely recommend, this is another thing I use, Benefit's Gimme Brow. It's really good. Yeah, so with this, what I do is I just apply it to the ends of my eyebrows to make them look bolder, because you want to kind of build up a gradient. And then do the same to the other brow. Don't touch this bit here with this at all, because you don't want them to look like slugs. That look is not great. And then just brush this bit up a bit. Okay, and what I do is, because with this brow, okay, so with this brow, I don't know if you can see, but here it's quite fair here. So what I do is I go in with this Ardell eyebrow product, and I get, this brush comes with the Ardell thing. It's got so if you go to buy it, it's got a spoolie on one side, and then it's got the eyebrow applicator on the other side. And this is in the shade Blonde, just because I don't like to have my eyebrows really, really dark. And then what I do is, if you just go up in upward strokes, like in the direction your hair does, it works better. And then after I do that, and just do a little bit on the other side as well, but a little bit, don't overdo it, because otherwise it doesn't look natural. Here, and then we go and conceal them. So I like to get my light highlighter again, the Pro Base Mua concealer, and if you get a brush like this, just a sort of flat brush, and then you want to brush over it, and you can see that that brow is now sleek. I still need to conceal the ends, but the good thing about concealing your brows means if you make any mistakes along the way, and then I have this little baby, you can correct them. And then I have this little baby beauty blender which I like to use, but you can use your regular one, and just beauty blend all of that in. Yeah, so that's one eyebrow done. It's not totally done though yet, but it's getting there. Yeah, and then do the same, conceal your other eyebrow. Make sure you don't conceal them too much, because what can happen is you can shorten it down, shorten the eyebrow down, and that is, you don't want that to happen. If it does, it's not the end of the world, you can fix it, but just kind of learn not to do that. So beauty blend in the concealer around this eyebrow. And as you can see, I've got the shape that I want for both my eyebrows. Okay, so, and then I like to just brush through at the ends and just brush down. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now that you're happy with your eyebrows and your base makeup's done, we now move on to baking. For baking, you get powder and you set your makeup with it. So we're gonna get this W7 banana powder. This is a loose powder. I like to decanter it in the lid. And then I get my other beauty sponge, put it on the flat end, and just pat it, but don't blend it in yet, because that's the whole point of baking. Do it to your chin, and do it to your head as well, but mind your eyebrows, because remember, you've just done them. You don't want to get powder in them, so mind your eyebrows. And put a bit on your nose. Okay. Then we're going to leave it for about 5 minutes.
I'm going to say some things that I recommend. This is my favourite perfume. I very much recommend it. It's a bit pricey, it's Dior Poison, but I love it and it smells so good. So, I definitely recommend. I might actually spray some now. It's like heaven. It's like heaven in your nostrils. Anyways, so yeah, you leave it for a bit.
And then you get a powder brush, which can be just any fluffy brush. It looks like that. And you brush it off. You sweep the bit under your eyes in upwards directions. You don't want it to go cakey, and sweep that outward. No, that's what I meant, sorry, outwards and upwards. Like that. Outwards. Okay, you don't have to do this, but I like to go in with some translucent powder. Mine's just from Revolution, and I apply this just to my under eye area here. just to brighten it up a bit, and also to your chin area, a little bit on the nose, and that's about it. And just dab that in. And over your eyes as well. Don't get it on your brows. Okay, so that's your powder sorted. So now you want to go on to your contour and your bronzing. So for contour, I like to use Benefit Hoola bronzer. I've got this thing called Blushing Babe, and it's got all the blushes in it, but it's also got Hoola in it. So I get my contour brush. This is a Real Techniques contour brush. And just tap it on a little bit. You don't put loads on because otherwise you will turn orange. And then suck in your cheeks. And I like to go, as well as putting it here, I like to go upwards, because you don't want to just have these lines where, because yes, you want definition, you want it to give you cheekbones, like more defined cheekbones, like it is, but you don't want it to look too liney. So I like to apply it up here as well, so there's a sort of transition into the defined cheekbones, instead of just having that line, that harsh line on you. And what I like to do, you don't have to do this bit, but I like to do this, is very, very lightly, don't put loads on your brush, because you will get a line and it will look like you have done your makeup wrong. Is just go gently along the jawline, and it will kind of give you a more defined jawline, and it looks quite nice. And you can blend it down onto your neck so it's not, but again, that's minimal product on your brush when you do that. The same as your head and hair, because you don't want lines. Okay, so now that I've done that, I like to get some bronzer. I've got this Bourjois one, which is a little bronzing powder. It's called DELICE de POUDRE, and it's a chocolate powder. But I've also got this one from Full Panda, and this one's actually quite nice as well. It's got a bit of sparkle to it. It's nice. So either, or just any bronzer, whatever bronzer. Today I think I'll use the Full Panda one. So I get this brush. This is an angled contour brush, but I'm not going to use it for contour, I'm going to use it for bronzing, because it's the same sort of stuff. So get some on and then tap it off, and then just go over where you went before with your contour. Sorry, my door keeps making noises.
Oh, no, it doesn't want to move. I think it's because the doorstop's in front of it. Okay.
And up on the hairline as well, you don't want to have like patchiness. Okay, so you've applied your contour and your bronzer. Now I like to move on to highlights For highlight, I've got a couple of different ones I like to use. I've also got some recommendations. So I love Mary Lou highlighter. This is from the Balm. It's really good. It's a kind of champagne-y colour. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, champagne-y colour. I really like it. And it's very pigmented, as you can see. That's quite nice for just a natural look. That's if you have fair skin, to suit different skin tones. That's another champagne one. This one's just from Topshop. This one's really pigmented as well. I really like it. So they're two I recommend, but today I'll be using this one, Goddess of Love. And this is from I Love Makeup. I think it's just, this is just a brand that they sell in Superdrug. And I just really like this highlighter. It's goldeny, and as you can see I've used it a lot because it's hit pan. So get your fan brush. You want to get your fan brush. You want to do this. Then you want to get the flat side and you just want to apply it. Personally, I like quite a bit of highlighter. I like to have a glowing pop on my face. I just like the look that it gives. And I like to put it on the end of my nose as well. I think it's quite cute. And put it on your Cupid's bow. Cupid's, no, I was like Cupid's bow. Cupid's bow. Put it on your Cupid's bow. Yeah. And I like to put a little bit on my chin. Don't put loads on your chin. You don't want it to be. And don't put, I know some people like to do this on their nose. Personally, I don't like to do loads of that just because I think it looks a little bit like a ski slope. Well, I used to do it actually, but funny thing was my grandma said to me, "Why is your nose so shiny?" And I was just like, she was like, "It looks like a ski slope." And like, I know it was just jokes, but I was like, I see how it is. So yeah, so that's highlight done. As you can see, it be popping. Okay, so after highlight, we move on to done highlights. So now after highlight, it's eyes. So for eyes, I like to go for quite natural looking eyes. So we're going to be using the Naked palette today. As you can see, I've used it a lot. Like, it's one ton. Okay, so for the eyes, what we're going to do is we're going to get our palette, and we're going to use, actually first we're going to get a fluffy brush, then we're going to get our palette, and I'm going to use for this look, we're going to use this one, Half Baked. So just get a bit of that on your fluffy brush. And then I'm just going to apply it to my eyelid like this. Sort of following the shape of my eyelid. Okay. And then do the same thing to the other eye. Okay. So that's your Half Baked done. Then what we want to use is, I think a smaller brush would be ideal. Probably one like this. As you can see, this one has product on it, so I'm just going to wipe it. But usually what I recommend is after you do your makeup each time, wash your brushes. You don't have to do it straight away, but just wash them, especially if for eye makeup brushes.
So then we're going to get some what I'm thinking. We're going to get some smog.
Apply that on your brush, and then you want to close your eye and just go along your crease. This will give it a bit more of definition. And beware of fallout, because it will happen. You can sort that out after, but just try to minimise the fallout, because otherwise that's more corrections you've got to do afterwards. Okay, so we put this in our crease line. I usually tend to use quite natural colours. These are neutrals, but I like to use natural like beiges and stuff, but I've just gone for a different look today. So then we're going to get another brush, this one. This is an Eco tool. It's actually a pointed concealer brush, but I like to use it for eyes. So we're going to get Virgin here and put this on the inner crease, just to illuminate it a bit. I quite like to brighten up the inside of the eye. Another way I can do this is get this, my Kiko, it's called Kiko, I just spilt it on me, Kiko High Pigment, and it's shade 83. This is like a really pure white, and it comes out so good. Comes out with a lot of pigment. So you're just going to put it on the inner side of your eye. And it will just brighten up everything, because since you've put on your smog, which we're going to do to this eye now, it's obviously darkened it down a bit. So we're going to brighten it up again with this. So just put some white on the inner side and here on the inner lid. Wipe that away. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get another fluffy brush. And I think we should go in with a little bit of red. So I've got this NYX palette called Ultimate Edit. And we're going to pick this colour here. They don't have names, so I can't really tell you what the colour is, but I pointed to it, so hopefully that'll be enough. And we're just going to put this on the outer bit here to sort of, I don't know, give it a bit of colour. There we go, that's one eye done. Then you want to do the same to this eye.
And sort of bring it up a little bit near the brow. There we go.
Okay, so that's your eyes done. Okay, they're quite natural looking. And now you want to apply some mascara. So we're going to go, this is a They're Real Primer mascara. Yeah, anyway. This is from Benefit. I really like this. It curls your lashes so good. be careful not to poke yourself in your eye. What you want to be doing is you want to be going in upward strokes, and just put this product on the edge of your lashes. You don't want to go right down to the root of your eyelid, because you'll end up poking yourself in the eye and then you'll start crying, because I do it all the time. And then your makeup will run everywhere and it will ruin what you've spent ages doing. So just try not to poke yourself in the eye. Okay. Now usually what I do after I put my primer on is I will put on their real from Benefit, the actual mascara, because it's so good. It curls your eyelashes, but unfortunately I've run out and I haven't had a chance to go out and buy some more, so I'm just using a regular mascara today from Full Panda. And just brush upwards like I said. What I like to do as well is once you dip it in, wipe it down a little bit just so that there's not too much product in there, because what will happen is it will transfer up here if there is. And keep your eyes open for this. I cannot stress enough, do not close your eyes and try to put it on while they're closed, and it's up to you if you want to put it on the bottom lash. I like to do that because I just think it looks odd if you don't. But if you don't want to put it on the bottom lashes, then you don't have to. Makeup is entirely your choice, like how you like it, and I'm just showing you how I like it, and what mine turns out like. And if you like it, then I'm totally cool with you copying it. Okay, so now that you put your mascara on, your eyes are done. Your eyes now, you've done everything pretty much. Now that you've done your eyes, you want to move on to your lips. One more thing before we move on to lips, what I like to do as well is go back in with your highlighter. Just get it on like a small brush like this, and then put it underneath your eyebrow, and then it's highlighted your brow bone. Highlighted my brow bone. Okay, so now that you've done all that, we're going to go on to lips. Now, because of the look I have today, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a nudish colour. I think that I will use this. So this is my Winky Lux liquid lipstick. It dries matte. Now these aren't everyone's cup of tea, because they don't like the fact that it's a liquid and then it dries like normal lipstick would, and they find that it's quite drying. I like them personally. I don't have an issue with it. It doesn't dry out my lips. And it takes a short amount of time to dry. And it feels really silk and smoothie. It's like velvety velvet lipstick, but it's like in liquid form. It feels really nice. Okay, so it's basically dry now. I can feel it drying on my lips already. And then we're going to go in with this lip liner from Kiko. I don't know the name of it, but the shade, if you want to know, it's a kind of beigey. It's 533. It's a 533. And this is from Kiko. I like my nudes in my lip colours as well. I don't know, I feel like they suit me better than bold colours. and just define the Cupid's bow by going down and come up again. There. Okay, and then the last thing you want to do is get setting spray. I recommend Mario Badescu. This is actually a facial spray, but you can use it as a setting spray, or you can just buy setting sprays in your regular drugstore, like Superdrug or whatever. But this is actually a face toner. So to finish off, we're going to spray some of this. Let that set. Okay, so we're at the end of the video now. This is what the final look looks like. As you can see, it's very natural. The highlight be popping. And yeah, just lots of nude tones. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's just my everyday, today look. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and comment down below what you would like my next video to be. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice day.